Oh, we'll bring you in. Oh, and you got a puppy
Hi, good
or a
morning.
dog.
This is Murphy. My name is Janelle, and I wanted to share two stories. And then, of course, I have a little dog here that is a miniature poodle, and he has severe anxiety and definitely a detachment disorder from me. And so I would love to see the results with him because the anxiety is definitely real in dogs, just like it is humans. So I would love to see the results with him. But my first story is a tooth story. I had a cracked tooth that needed to be repaired. It was actually a filling, sorry, that needed to be repaired. So I had an emergency dental appointment because I was heading out on a business trip. So I got it filled, and the very next day flew out, and I had terrible, terrible tooth pain from the results of that dentist appointment. And I was on the plane, and I had a friend that I was traveling with that had the WAVwatch, and she said, "You need to use this while we're on this 3-hour flight." And I was like, "Okay, sure. We'll see what it does." So she put some kind of dental setting on, and within, I would say, about 20 minutes, we kept replaying the, I guess what you would call the frequencies. And within 20 minutes to a half hour, my pain was completely gone. And so we kept playing it the entire flight and the entire trip. It was incredible. I had no pain. I don't like to take medication or pain meds when I don't have to. And it was great because this solved that situation. And more recently, my husband and I are actually trying to start a family. And I would never had an ultrasound in my life because never had a need to. And I discovered that I had really bad menstrual cramps with my cycle every month and never knew why. And so it turns out that I had a fibroid that was living inside of my uterus, the size of my uterus. And so it took up the entire space. And all these years, I never knew it. And so I had to have surgery to remove that fibroid. It's actually a non-cancerous tumor. Thankfully that they can be removed. But if I would have gotten pregnant, I would have had no room for a baby and would have definitely miscarried. So I was grateful to find that information out. And then started using the watch setting on different hormones, since I do get really bad hormone headaches that time of the month. And I have other fibroids that are living outside the uterus that can present a problem for pregnancy if they're up against the uterus. And so I had a second ultrasound, and they said, there's not much we can do with those outside. They kind of need to stay away for pregnancy because they will, if they start to grow and change this shape enough to affect the uterus shape, that could be a problem. And so I started using the setting for hormone, and specifically, there's actually a fibroid setting on the watch. So for anyone that struggles with that, it worked tremendously. And when I went back in for a final ultrasound, they said they have shrunk. They're so small. They're never going to be an issue. And just being a praying person, as well as knowing that only God and this WAVwatch could have done the results that it did, I was forever grateful. So we are still in the journey and process of starting a family and getting pregnant, but I know that God is the God of miracles, so it will eventually happen. So thank you.
It will eventually happen. That's a great way to say it.
That.
Oh my! Here
we'll
I'm
be
tearing up.
for you.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
You gave such a good explanation too, that helped all of us to understand, and to have the medical before and after is amazing. So just like you said, God first, and hopefully the WAVwatch was involved in that too. So what a great testimony. Thank you, Janelle. And just put that WAVwatch right on your dog, or put anxiety on you and you hug your dog. And that helps so many times. So
thank you. Okay, I will do that.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for joining.